In this video, you'll learn how to generate and organize all your structural drawings in ideCAD Structural. You'll start by creating formwork and reinforcement concrete drawings directly from the Drawings tab. You'll see how to customize pen colors, hatching, text sizes, and scales to match your documentation needs. Then, we'll generate detailed application and vertical drawings for columns, shear walls, beams, and foundations across multiple stories. You'll learn how to group drawings, clean up overlapping elements, and clone layouts for faster drafting. We'll also show how to use the Similar Story feature to automatically replicate beam drawings across matching floors. Once drawings are complete, you'll arrange them into a single layout sheet using layout blocks. Finally, we'll export that layout as a DWG file, ready for printing or project submission. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to produce clean, professional drawings and organize them efficiently using ideCAD. To generate drawings in the program, start by navigating to the Drawings tab located on the ribbon menu. Within this tab, you'll find several sections such as Window, Create Drawings, Primitives, Modify, Edit, Snap, Reference, Dimension, Reinforcement, Hatch, Text, Layout Design, and Tools. Under the Window section, you'll see commands like Switch Windows, Story List, and Drawing List. These allow you to navigate between different drawing views. Moving on to the Create Drawings section, this is where you can generate your concrete, steel, and formwork drawings. By clicking the icons here, you can access drawing menus. In the Primitives section, you can draw basic elements like multiple lines, paths, revision clouds, circles, and arcs. The Modify section gives access to commands such as Move, Fast Move, Rotate, Mirror, Offset, Trim, Extend, and Stretch Node. These are useful for editing drawing elements. In the Edit section, tools like Array, Advanced Array, Polar Array, Clone, and Story Copy are available. The Snap section lets you activate snapping features for precision drawing. In the Reference section, you can measure distances, areas, and angles. If you need to add dimensions to your drawings, use the Dimension section. For structural detailing, the Reinforcement section lets you draw stirrups and crosstie for columns and shear walls. The Hatch section allows you to apply hatch patterns using user-defined settings. Under Text, you can add text annotations and configure their appearance. Layout Design gives you tools to set up your layout sheets, while Tools offers rebar and numbering settings. To begin, let's create a concrete drawing. Click on the Concrete section and select Formwork Plan. The Drawing Properties window will open. Here you can control visual parameters using the Colors and Heights tabs. The Colors tab lets you define pen colors for steel text, lines, and IDs. These pen settings affect the pen thickness for your drawing. In the Heights tab, you'll set the size and spacing of text. In the Paper tab, you can define the layout size manually or select a predefined format from A0 to A4. You can also choose between vertical or horizontal layout orientations and set margins for the layout edges. Next, go to the Advanced tab. If you want to generate formwork plans for all stories, make sure the All Stories checkbox is enabled. You can also choose to display steel bar IDs and lengths directly on the drawings. Under Table Settings, you decide which tables will appear on the sheet. Enabling the Draw Steel Bar Table option will generate a table listing bar types, quantities, diameters, and lengths. If needed, enable Draw Deflection Table to include deflection values. After completing your settings, click OK. Because we selected All Stories, the program will generate a separate drawing for each story automatically. To manage these drawings, go to the Drawing list under the Windows section. For example, you'll see items like Story 3 Formwork, Story 2 Formwork, Story 1 and Basement. You can switch between them using the Drawing list, or simply right-click on the drawing name in the lower toolbar to jump between views. Looking at the formwork, we see a drawing containing reinforcement details. You can copy this layout by selecting it from left to right, clicking Clone, and specifying a base point for the copied layout. Selecting the slab reinforcement in the cloned elements and clicking Delete will remove the reinforcement and create an unreinforced formwork plan, leaving only the formwork lines. In some cases, if text overlaps due to close placement, use the Fast Move tool to make adjustments without exploding the blocks. You can access Fast Move from the Modify section or by pressing M on your keyboard. This allows you to reposition texts quickly and clean up your layout. You can repeat this process for all stories, generating both reinforced and plain formwork plans. If you want to organize multiple formwork drawings onto a single layout instead of multiple sheets, simply clone the layouts and place them together. Now let's generate a column application plan. Click the column application plan icon. In the dialog that opens, click Select All under Select Stories to include all stories. If you choose Detail on Place, reinforcements are detailed directly on the plan. Choose Detail Outside to create drawings with reinforcement details placed externally. For tunnel form structures, use the Tunnel Formwork Header, Details Outside option. In strengthening projects, you can choose between reinforcements on place and reinforcements outside, depending on your detail preferences. To fine-tune your drawing, click the Settings button. In the Drawing Properties dialog, you can customize line thickness, font sizes, hatching preferences for different elements like columns and shear walls, and axis or dimension settings. In the Advanced Settings area, adjust scales, paper dimensions, and contour line preferences. Under Annotations, preview different annotation styles. Enabling annotations for white background is recommended for ACI-compliant detailing. Once you finish the settings, click OK and choose Detail Outside to generate your column application drawings. You'll see the reinforcement and structural details laid out by story, ready for review or printing. This is how you manage and create comprehensive drawing sets, including formwork and reinforcement layouts, directly within ideCAD. Now let's move on to generating shear wall drawings. To start, I click on the Shear Wall Drawings section. This opens the Shear Wall Vertical Drawing Settings dialog. Here, you'll find two drawing modes, multi-story and single-story. If you want to represent multiple stories in a single drawing, select multi-story. For separate shear wall drawings for each individual story, choose single-story. In the settings, there are also options like Group Vertically and Group Horizontally, which allow you to group similar shear walls together in your drawing. If you would like to include a plan view of the shear wall, simply enable the Create Plan Drawing checkbox. If you're working with strengthening shear walls, you can also select the Generate Reinforcement Steel option to include reinforcement drawings for retrofit elements. Now let's look at the settings in more detail. Under the Drawing Properties window, in the General tab, there is a menu where you can adjust the colors and appearance parameters. In the Advanced tab, you can choose whether or not to display rebar IDs and rebar descriptions on your drawings. These toggles help you control the level of detail shown. In the Paper tab, you can manually define the paper dimensions or select a predefined paper size from the list. You can also adjust the drawing scale from here. Under Table Settings, you'll be able to customize how tables are presented in your drawings. And in the Annotation section, you can choose from predefined annotation templates that suit your drawing layout. Once all your settings are configured, click OK to proceed. After confirming, the program will automatically generate your shear wall drawings. These will appear across 5 different drawing sheets, depending on how many shear wall groups and stories are involved. At the bottom of the program interface, you can right-click to access the drawing list, which allows you to move between drawing sheets quickly and efficiently. If you notice any overlapping elements in the drawings, particularly with annotation blocks, you can click on the text and use the Move command by pressing Enter to reposition those labels. Likewise, tables are generated as blocks and can also be moved to avoid visual clutter. By dragging the tables or using Move, you can clean up overlapping content for a clearer presentation. This is how shear wall vertical drawings are created and adjusted in the program. Now, in a similar way, we can move on to column vertical drawings by clicking the corresponding option. The process is nearly identical and follows the same streamlined workflow. Now let's move on to generating column vertical drawings. Once the column vertical drawings window opens, you'll see two main options, multi-story and single-story. Multi-story allows you to display columns from several floors together, while single story generates separate vertical drawings for each floor. Next, I go into the Settings tab. Under the General section, I can adjust colors and appearance options to suit the desired drawing layout. The Advanced tab includes features such as Draw Rebar ID and Draw Rebar Descriptions, which allow you to include or hide reinforcement details directly in the drawing. In the Paper tab, we set the paper dimensions and choose the appropriate scale for the drawing. Then, under Table Settings, we configure how the reinforcement and dimension tables will appear. The Annotations tab allows us to choose which annotations should be included in the final layout. After completing the settings, I click OK. A confirmation dialog appears. When I click OK again, the program generates the column vertical drawings. These are displayed across 5 drawing sheets, or papers, in total. This provides a complete breakdown of the column layout and detailing. Now let's do the same for beam drawings. I click the Beam Drawings section, and just like the others, you'll see the General tab, Colors, and Appearance sections available to adjust how elements are shown. We also have tabs for paper options, advanced settings, and annotations, just as we saw for columns and other elements. What's unique here is the Similar Stories feature. This allows you to generate the same beam layout drawing for multiple similar stories, based on a reference story. In this case, I set Story 1 as the base story. By selecting this story as base story, the program includes Story 1, Story 2, and Story 3 in a single drawing process, automatically applying the same layout to each. If we keep the current active story as base story, the generated drawing will reflect only the base floor. But if I make Story 1 the active story and generate the drawings again, it will create the beam drawings across all similar stories using that as a reference. So far, we've completed beam drawings for Story 1, Story 2, and Story 3, as well as for the base story. Additionally, the extra reinforcements are also included per floor and labeled clearly in the drawing, with each reinforcement block showing the story it belongs to in parentheses. Now I switch the active story to Basement 1 in order to generate drawings for basement beams. Once I select Basement 1 and click OK, the basement beam drawings are created across 2 separate drawing sheets. Still working from Basement 1, I can now proceed to generate the foundation plan. Since Basement 1 contains the foundation elements, we use this as the active story. I click to generate the foundation plan. And when I confirm, the foundation drawing is produced. Now we can also move the column starter bars into place. I select and reposition the bars as needed within the foundation plan. This ensures that the reinforcement detailing in the foundation is clear and well aligned with the column design. In this way, the program allows you to generate and organize all structural drawings, including beams, columns, walls, and foundations, in a structured and visually clear format. Next, we'll continue by exploring how to place and manage layouts to finalize your drawing documentation. There are 2 main methods to create layouts in the program. First, I'll show you the quick and practical method. In this approach, you can copy and arrange drawings directly into a single layout page by simply placing them one after another. Let's say we choose one of the drawing sheets as our base, for example, the foundation plan. In this method, we'll copy other drawings using Ctrl+C, and paste them directly into this foundation drawing using Ctrl+V. To start, I'll first paste column vertical drawings paper 1 into the foundation plan. Then, I'll take column vertical drawings papers 2, 3, 4, and 5, and paste all of them into column vertical drawings paper 1. Once grouped together, I'll copy that entire column vertical 1 paper and paste it into the foundation plan sheet. This way, I first group related drawings together, for instance, all column drawings, by copying and pasting them into a single layout. Then I sequentially place these grouped layouts into the foundation plan one by one, again using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. This method lets you quickly and efficiently organize and arrange all your drawings inside the program. If needed, you can also switch between layout blocks, reposition tables, and fine-tune the drawing sequence directly within your working sheet. Using this process, I'll complete the layout arrangement by collecting and organizing all relevant drawings inside the foundation plan. After organizing the column vertical drawings, I'll continue with the shear wall vertical drawings. Once those are arranged, I'll move on to placing the column application plans. Following that, I'll insert the Formwork plans, ensuring they are properly aligned within the layout. Finally, I'll complete the layout presentation by adding the beam drawings. This sequence, from columns to shear walls, then application and formwork plans, and ending with beams, provides a logical and professional flow for reviewing the structural drawings. This structure ensures everything is easy to follow and neatly compiled for documentation or presentation. Next, to export the sheet we assembled inside the foundation plan, we go to the top left corner and click on the ideCAD icon. From the drop-down menu, we select Export, and then choose Export to DWG. First, a dialog opens where we enter a file name for the DWG export. After saving, another window appears showing all the drawings generated in the project. From this list, we select only the foundation plan, where we've already gathered all our drawings. Then, we click OK. With that, the complete sheet we prepared inside the foundation plan is successfully exported from the program in DWG format, ready to be shared or used in other platforms. Now, let's create a layout using the Create New Layout feature located in the Layout Design section. When I click the Create New Layout icon, a window appears where I can define parameters such as paper size, format, type, width, and height. From the Format section, I can choose the paper type and format, like A1 or A2, and from the Type dropdown, I can set it as Portrait or Landscape. I'll use the Free Format option to define a custom paper size. By right-clicking in the box, I can switch between meters, centimeters, or millimeters for precise dimensioning. After defining my layout area, I've now created my empty layout sheet. Into this sheet, I'll begin placing my drawings, but first, I need to turn them into layout blocks. I go to my foundation drawing first and turn it into a block. To do this, I click the small arrow next to Create New Layout and choose New Layout Block, Rectangle. I select the foundation drawing with a rectangle, and that defines my first block. Next, I go to the column vertical drawings. Again, I use the rectangle block command and define this as my column vertical block. Then I repeat the same process for the shear wall vertical drawings, creating a block for that drawing. I do the same for the column application plans, the formwork drawings, and finally, the beam drawings. Once all these blocks are defined, I return to my layout sheet. Now I right-click and select Insert Layout Block to start placing my drawings into the layout. I insert each block one by one: column vertical, shear wall, column application, formwork, and finally, beam. If any of the drawings appear too large or overlap, I can explode the block or simply adjust its position using the Move command. I can shift tables or annotations around to organize the page clearly and professionally. With this process, I can visually organize and edit my full layout in one comprehensive sheet. Once satisfied, I can export it. Instead of exporting the foundation one like before, this time I choose the full layout drawing from the Export menu and use Export to DWG to generate a clean output file in DWG format. This gives us a final, polished sheet, neatly compiled with all structural drawings laid out in order, ready for printing or submission. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore the knowledge base for more tips. See you in the following video.